and this particular night I was awoken by a strange sound. This strange sound that was like something hitting the window and dragging. I ignored it because I knew we had animals around, and there were bushes near the window. Plus, I was still half asleep and didn't want to get up to investigate. Still, something about the noise unnerved me, but I was able to brush it off and go back to sleep. I don't know how long this pattern continued or the time that lapsed between them since I was so young. I just remember being constantly woken up by noises at my window. After a while, I stopped being able to sleep, and I would turn to the television that my grandmother left on for me by way of a nightlight for comfort. A small 10-inch TV with a VCR built in that would wash the room in soft light. Ignore the noise, nothing's there. It's probably just squirrels acting up and making the branches hit the window. Everything's okay. One night, however, after the noises woke me, I had to go to the bathroom. I was hesitant to leave the perceived safety of my bed and laid there staring at the ceiling. Eventually, I worked up the courage to scramble down the ladder and dash to the bathroom without looking towards the window. As I was coming back, however, I couldn't help but glance at the window, which was covered by blinds. My heart was pounding and I heard this noise, somewhat like a laugh, but coarse and airy at the same time. If you can, imagine a snake's hiss as it slithered over gravel. I gasped and with trembling hands reached out and pulled the blinds down. What I saw would haunt me for the rest of my life. The first thing I noticed was a grotesquely long tongue, hitting the window and lashing around as if it had a mind of its own. I stifled a scream and looked up, seeing the strangest set of teeth I've ever seen in my life. Like needles shoved into makeshift rows, but this thing had no lower jaw at all. Dark liquid that caught the shine of the streetlight dripped from the hole that the tongue hung from. I was terrified. Frozen in fears, I finally looked up into a pair of hollow eyes, deep and black like two voids staring back at me, surrounded by sickly-looking gray skin that seemed stretched too thin across its skull. It pressed a hand to the glass, but that tongue never stopped wiggling around, hitting the glass right at my eye level. My vision started to turn black and I was very, very dizzy. I fell back, and as soon as my line of sight from the creature was broken, my legs seemingly regained their ability to move, and I ran out of my room and into the hall linen closet. My grandmother found me the next morning, still curled up in that small 2-foot by 2-foot closet, clutching my knees to my chest. I tried to explain what had happened, but it was just a nightmare. Still, I couldn't be convinced and stayed in her room for the next few months. But I grew up in an old house. It was built in 1900, and it had that old, heavy vibe that old houses always seem to have. I remember when we moved in, I was afraid of the cellar. It was an old stone-walled and dirt-floored room, hidden beneath the floor by a trapdoor under the stairs to the second floor. I, to this day, have only gone down there a handful of times. I remember the first night I had what I now believe to be sleep paralysis. I slept in the top right of the second floor. I had the same dream numerous times that an older woman was standing to the left of my bed near my closet. By the third time, I had the same dream she was at the left foot of my bed, and I woke myself up kicking at her to get away. The floors popped and creaked throughout the night.